The original reason for a document of this type came to me back in 1952 when I was sentenced as an independent drug dealer and was sent to Dannemora, New York. While there, I learned that I was being treated much differently than some of the rest of the prisoners, and wondered why. Speaking to one of the officers, I was made aware of the fact that my prison record was special, and that I was a special person. I wondered what that meant and continued to research it. I discovered that I was being treated as a special organized crime prisoner, that I was a part of a national organization called the Mafia. That's when I decided to learn all I could about the Mafia itself. I found myself in the prison library. It was very sparse and didn't contain too many knowledgeable research books. However, I did find an old 1912 edition of the Encyclopedia Britannica. I checked under the heading of Mafia, and under the heading of Mafia it said, "A word of uncertain origin," and then proceeded to refer to other such organizations like the Black Hand and other Italian-American organizations. But most of them were Italian-American organizations, and I wondered. So I did a little more research. I discovered that the actual Mafia dates back to 1265 on a day called the Vespers, the Sunday before actually Easter Sunday. I need to give you some history, the lay of the land of Italy during that period, in order for you to really understand why such an organization was founded. It was an underground organization, much like the modern Irish Republican Army. And its purpose was to chase the French out of the peninsula of Italy and Sicily. So young kids, young, vibrant little Italian boys, all became very interested in trying to rescue the country of Italy from the French occupation. So they banded together as a group and called themselves mafiosa, from the original term M-A-F-I-A, Mafia. The words translated from the English, translated to English, are morta alla francese in Italia, which means in English, kill all the Frenchmen in Italy. That was the desire of the Italian people at that time, because they had been subjected to French rule for a very long time and were laboring under the yoke of the French attitude. And the French attitude is so different than the Italian that the Italians are stronger and more determined. They wanted to rid the country of the French occupation. The first incident in the recorded history of the Mafia has to do with a little town, La Bella Godia in Sicily. Young boy was accompanying his family to Sunday service at the church. On his way to the church, he encountered a policeman, a sergeant, in the French occupation forces. The sergeant made a sarcastic and uncomely remark to the boy's 12-year-old sister. Immediately, he jumped out of the line and slit the throat of the sergeant of the police. At that instant, all across Italy, in every little town, in every little hamlet, Frenchmen were being killed. It was called, that day was called the Day of the Sicilian Vespers, and it was recorded on a Catholic holiday. All across Italy, young boys who had secretly promised to rid the country of the scourge of French occupation jumped up and started to kill all the Frenchmen in Italy. Morta alla francese in Italia. The method used to determine the difference between an Italian and the Frenchman is in the simple pronunciation of one word in the Italian language. The word is beans. The French pronounce it CH with a K, chiesera. The Italians pronounce it chiesera. What they would do, what these young vandals would do, would stop a stranger walking the streets in the late hours of the evening and engage him in conversation, which would lead him to use the term beans. When he mispronounced it and it came out French, his throat was slit on the spot, and another Frenchman bit the dust.